Yo, yo, yo. Welcome back.
Yo, yo, yo. That's a new one.
You gotta grab attention.
Yo, 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 yo. What's up? What's up?
Welcome to episode 28 of the Wisco Wistys. We're pumping them out now. What?
Pumping them out, huh?
Yeah, that's a long time. That's 30, it's almost 30 weeks.
28
And
is a long time.
yeah, and then, before we know it, we'll be at a year. What? Why is that so funny?
Oh, fuck. Okay,
You're impossible.
whatever.
All right, so we're recording this Monday, the 25th. We got through the first weekend of March Madness and it was a blast.
Is it not? I am being an NFL fan. I like the first Sunday of the NFL season is my my Christmas, New Year's. It's the greatest day of the year. This
hmm
that like Thursday, Friday, Saturday portion is second. It's
Yeah,
fantastic. I fucking love it.
it's nice. Even it starts to like make me sad, even the Saturday and Sunday, because it's not multiple games at one time. I know that
Yeah,
sounds
that's
so
why I
spoiled, but it's like I
hmm
love Thursday, Friday because it's literally every like 30 to 40 minutes there's another game starting. So you're gonna like finish one half of one game and then then you're like, okay, it's halftime. You go to the other one and it's, right in the middle of the first half. And then if you have like YouTube TV or other
yeah,
streaming
how did
options, you
how
can do
did you
like the four
watch?
squares and stuff. Last year I did multiple TVs. Um, this year I just did four squares or I was at a bar. I took our hygienists and assistants out to a bar and we just watched at a bar which has multiple games playing.
That's always
So
a good move. Yeah.
it's fun. Yeah, it's a good time.
We
But
I did the YouTube TV and then I have another TV below it. So you can watch them on Max, right?
mhm,
So you can get every game and I have bunny ears for like CBS if I need to. So
yeah.
I'd put one down there, one up top, and then when we got into that like you're saying where it was like four at a time or three at a time,
hmm
I would side by side them on the TV and then on the bottom, and then if it got real close in one of them, I would just make that
The big
the
one.
big one. Yeah, because
Yeah.
there's
I
the
did.
other thing. That's what's nice too is like you get like a couple like UConn blew out the 16 seed, so I don't
Yeah,
give a
it's
fuck
like I don't
about
really
that
want to
game.
watch that. Yeah.
So I can really narrow it down to two or three then. So those are
Yeah.
fun.
Yeah, I mean I had issues last year with like YouTube TV, so you can only have X amount of people on it at the same time and everyone wants to watch it at the same time. So it's nice that you have like Max or um what was another one last year? Like Paramount Plus or Peacock or something like that. Like there's or Amazon or something. They had other ways like they were streaming it live too, so you could like use one TV for that app and then the
Yeah,
other one for YouTube TV. So
I didn't
they
realize
make it
Max
easier,
was
which is nice.
I didn't realize that they were doing it. So I just had like CBS on the bottom, and I was like, I looked online. I'm like, well, what's next? And it's like Max slash TNT. And I was like, oh fuck. So I have like a little Roku thing. So I was
Yeah.
like, okay. So I signed into that, and you just the other thing that blows, and this is a streaming thing, is if I use the bunny ears on CBS and then I stream up top, I'm like 15 seconds ahead on the bottom. So
Mm,
like the scores are running, and all of a sudden I
yeah.
have to avoid seeing like, oh, they just hit a three, and then I
Or
look
if you
up and
see the
oh,
score, you're like, oh shit, now I gotta watch to see how that happened.
yeah. So like
Yeah.
that bugged me too. So I tried to stay on streaming and streaming because it
Yeah.
just got annoying. I didn't like
That's
that
funny.
at all.
Yeah, I mean it's a good time from like 11 to 10 or like 10 or 11 in the morning until like
12 hours,
a long like
one,
last night the Texas
13.
Tech Houston game.
That game was fucking
We
nuts.
were
Okay.
in bed and it was like a minute and a half left and they were down like 11.
Yeah, it
And I'm
was
like,
12
why do I
points
feel
with a
like they're
minute
gonna
and a
come
half.
back?
Yeah.
And they just kept crawling and crawling
Did you
and
hear the
clawing
announcer?
their
He's
way
like,
back.
58 seconds. This hasn't moved. I feel like that's a lot of time left, and I don't
hmm
know why. And it just slow. I was like, oh, when they
Yeah.
hit the three, I literally went,
Well, And
The
how many
fuck?
times did they hit a long three and their toe was on the line? I'm like, that you could have
Yeah.
won. Oh my
It was,
gosh, that was awesome.
what's his face on, oh, I'm gonna forget the guard for Houston, the main guy with the
Yeah.
corn. When he hit that, he did the putback, first of
Yeah.
all, like 6-1, and he just out jumped everybody. And
Yeah.
then the
Love
end
it.
at the end of the game, he did that like hop through step and put it up. Like he was a stud.
Yeah.
Like that game was awesome. Did you watch the Creighton Oregon game? That went into
No, I
overtime.
missed that one. I caught like the
Oh,
first couple minutes of it, but then I missed
fuck.
the last bit. But they went to double overtime?
Yeah, it was. So
Yeah.
we were watching, and it was literally like, Oregon was like they're saying like Shaq and Kobe, like two guys had 70 out of their like 90
Oh
or
shit.
something, and then the Creighton had like four guys with 20, right?
Mm,
So there's all a bunch of going.
they're
It
pretty
was just
well rounded. That's why I picked them to go deep.
yeah, back and forth, and then it was like, oh, Creighton's got this, and it's like, ooh, that's what's like the 1-and-1
I love
free
the NBA
throws.
needs to do that. I love
Yes,
bonus and bonus plus.
the press, like, oh God, he threw it away, and oh fuck there. And I'm like, damn, Creighton, you're gonna like let him in. And then when they let him in, that the other thing that bugs me about college, but makes it interesting, like in Houston last night, 5 fouls, like half the team's out. So you're that Houston
Yeah.
put that white guy in. Now he shot like twice in the whole fucking time he's been there,
Yeah.
gets fouled, has to hit a free throw. I was like, what the hell? They're on their 12th man in the bench. It's nuts.
I know.
Like
It's awesome.
that's what makes it so fun. And it's just like you don't know. I don't know any of these people, so I'm just like, I don't know who's gonna score. Like if Giannis is getting the ball or Dame's getting like
Right.
this is like anybody fucking like
Yeah.
launch. I'm like oh
I
shit.
mean, the
Like
guy who hit from Texas Tech who hit the three to put it into overtime,
and
I
A&M,
don't,
yeah,
or sorry, Texas A&M, yeah. I
yeah.
don't think I only caught like the end of that game. I'm pretty sure he's not like a typical
No,
three-point shooter.
he didn't do much. That one kid, that guard who was just launching threes left and right, like
Yeah.
horrible shots,
Number
and then he just
four.
hit one of them. Yeah,
Yeah.
Taylor. I was like, "What are you doing, dude?" Like, and Buzz Williams is just like, "Yep, great
Yeah.
shot.
Keep
Great,
going.
like
Keep
keep
going.
going."
Yeah.
Did you watch the Grand Canyon Alabama game yesterday?
No, I missed that one too.
Fucking, that was 12 times. Like Charles Barkley's like, I don't think they ran a play all game. He's like, that was the worst basketball I've ever seen in my life. Like Grand Canyon was 1-on-1. They had 5 assists for the whole team the entire game.
Yeah.
What? And they're athletes all the hell, but it was just like people on the floor jumping, athletic blocks,
Yeah.
dunks, shooting. It was crazy. And their Alabama's point guard reminds me of Brunson Sears.
Yeah.
He was a
Yeah.
stud. But I mean, great. It was a great week, and there were some blowouts. There were some close games. Obviously, like Oakland with the kid that hit all those threes against Kentucky. Like that was awesome. The upsets.
Yeah.
And NC State, baby, bringing it
Son of a
home for
bitch.
me. Oh, that was fucking awesome. That Toad, man, their big man is fucking great.
I like seeing Marquette. They seem like they're doing good. My thing with Marquette is I think Tyler Kolek getting hurt helped the team because he got hurt at a good time. He got hurt, so all the other guards had to play more. They're starting to come into their own. And then he comes back. He might have needed, he might be like slowly getting back into it, but he's looking pretty good. And he's like a true point guard. He's just elevating other
What
guys, and
what does Dad say?
it's all about guard play.
Yeah,
And he's you
it's free
the best
throws,
part is you
handling the
would
press.
never know he's a pretty good basketball player if you just saw him walking down the street. Like he's not that tall. He's a pasty white dude with like a bad haircut, comb
That's why I didn't
over.
pick him.
And
I
you're
was
like,
like,
"What?"
"This is your best player." I'm like, "No,
Yeah.
this isn't gonna
We
work."
have a lot of good players though. I couldn't name
There's,
all of them, but like 23 is pretty good. Igudaro is decent. He's not playing very well in this tournament, but um we had Cam Jones was going off in this last game.
I
But
think
yeah, we got some
I
decent
will.
guys.
I will say this. I don't think they're gonna win it all, but I think if they can get through NC State, I think they can beat Houston if Houston gets there. Houston's defense
Yeah.
is really good, but they're nothing special on offense.
And
Like that's a struggle for
we
them.
can beat Purdue. So
Purdue,
If it's us
Well,
and Purdue in the Final Four,
overrated. Yeah. But
you
if
get
you
there.
see UConn, you're gonna get spanked because
Well,
that's a
yeah,
different beast.
we
That's a
already got.
fucking
They're in the
monster.
Big East with us. We already got spanked
Yeah, they'll just
big time.
bend you over and be like, "Oh, we're
Yeah,
doing this again."
we're
Fuck.
good.
They're um
Yeah,
I
but
saw that stat last time all the 1 and 2 seeds made it to Sweet 16 was 1979.
oh,
Think about
okay.
that.
So all that happened
That happened. That
this
just
year. Yeah,
happened. So like we had upsets of the 3, 4, 5, 6, all those
right.
people, but not the top seeds, which is kind of interesting. We always,
And we discussed that last time. We were like, it's so easy to call an upset in the first round because it's like, oh, number 10 versus 7 or whatever.
yeah.
And then you get to the second round and you're like, oh, but they're not going to beat a number 2 seed or a number 1 seed.
Hmm.
So I guess I'm taking them again. So it's really like I have my entire Elite Eight in my bracket is still alive right now. So I could get the Elite Eight correct.
Yeah.
So I'm like, all right, that's kind of
So
cool. But yeah, I get it's not very common.
going into that though, like so update on the family bracket. I think that's why everyone like has a decent amount of points remaining because not many people's Final Four teams really are gone at all.
Right.
Owen picked Nevada in a bold pick.
Bold.
The 10 seed that lost right away. Um,
That's
but he
tough.
still has 3 out of his 4. Um, I think Mom, who is leading, shout out Mom. She's got all 4 of hers. I think she has her entire Elite Eight is still alive too.
Yeah.
So like she's really rolling.
There's a lot of points
Um,
remaining there.
yeah, and out of the clouds, Allie Hayes, her entire Elite Eight and Final Four. She's in
Yeah.
third place. It's
Houston winning, and then she had to um Houston winning last night was huge because she picked them to win it all. But there was one other game. I want to say it was in the bottom left.
She picked
Clemson.
she
She picked
picked
Clemson.
yeah, so did Mom. Mom picked
Yeah.
Clemson to get there too. And I was like, what the fuck? You picked
Yeah.
Oakland and NC State and
Yeah.
NC State again and Clemson. Like she picked all these. So did Owen. I was like, what the hell? Like that was
I
just
missed the ball
random.
on NC State, man. And I also fell for the fucking McNeese and Samford bullshit.
I
I
know.
fell for Duquesne and I got that one right, but I had them, winning one and then losing right away. But I fell for McNeese, dude. I had them going to the fucking
Well, I had
Sweet
them
16
and
to like
Samford winning,
play.
and then you
Yeah,
just
same
like
did
run
I.
into that. That's a
Same
problem.
did I. So did I.
Same did I.
Same as me.
So did me. Hey, other thing that fucked me, fucking Wisconsin, man. What the
Oh,
fuck was that?
that was the other thing I was gonna say. We were watching the game. I'm like, oh my God, they have like 6 turnovers and they only have 4 points. They had at one point they had 9 turnovers and
Yeah,
2 field goals made. It was
yeah.
4-16 and they had 9 turnovers.
So there's
Are you fucking kidding me?
if you watch Wisconsin basketball, what's the one thing they cannot do is turn the ball over because they don't score at a high enough clip
Right.
to like hang. They play great defense, possession, and
Fundamental. It's just a bunch of
fundamental,
white
yeah.
kids out there.
And the one black guy, fucking, was it Orr or whatever the fuck his name is,
Yeah, he played
sucked.
like shit. So that's
Like the
there you
one
go.
game he played dog shit. He was like, God,
Yeah.
guess what? I'm playing like dog shit today. And James Madison was just like athletes everywhere. They're like, we're running.
And
And that's why
yeah, they
I
were
was like, they're gonna beat
scrappy.
Duke. I
They
was like, they're
were,
gonna take them. I
yeah.
thought so. And then
They just
Duke's
got
like,
whooped.
hold on, we're
Yeah.
talented. I was like, oh shit.
But
They
JMU
kicked
was
their ass.
scrappy as hell. They were all over the ball,
That's
swarming, just playing like
that's
wild.
yes.
I
It
mean,
made I
it
was like,
works
Wisconsin
sometimes.
looked
That's a
they
perfect
looked
matchup.
good, didn't they? I
Yeah,
thought Wisconsin looked good going into it. So then when I saw JMU do that, I was like, they got a chance. And then Duke did what JMU did Wisconsin to them. The
right.
kid, have you seen the kid on JMU? Like he's like a TikTok, like Instagram star or whatever. He's singing,
Oh
he paints his
God.
fingernails. Yeah, look him up.
No.
It's probably your favorite.
Yeah, I'm
Um,
sure.
that's an interesting game though. Them and Houston. We'll look ahead later, but it was a crazy weekend. I enjoyed it, and
It's a
it like you're
blast.
saying, it does suck because the upcoming games become
Because now it's Sweet 16,
yeah. There's only 4 games a day, so they're all at night, and
Thursday,
that's what
Friday,
got us
and
up.
then Elite
Yeah,
Eight Saturday, Sunday. And
Yep,
they're all, yeah,
and then it's the final four the next Saturday, and then the championship's Monday, and we're done. Just
yeah,
like that. Boom, boom, boom.
I
It's
know.
quick.
Damn.
Yeah. Um, okay. Anything else to discuss for the weekend?
Um, no.
Because the rest of it is just we're gonna look ahead, play a little games, talk about some bullshit, and move on.
Yeah.
Okay. So I we're gonna one
Insta
there
game. What is this?
I well it's just a discussion. I saw this game or this thing on House of Highlights. I don't know if you saw it before the tournament started. You have to pick between one of these three teams. Okay. And it's their based off of college, which team is the best team? So I don't know if you can see this. Can you
Oh,
see those
okay.
people?
Yeah, just hold it right there.
Yep. So it's on the top we have Steph Curry, Carmelo Anthony, Kevin Durant, Blake Griffin. I think that's Russell Westbrook.
Yep.
And then team two, we have Davis, Joel, Brunson, Booker, and Kemba Walker.
Damn.
And team three, we have Zion, Tatum, Ja, Trey, and then what's the name from
Chet,
the Thunder?
Chet
Chet
Holmgren.
Holmgren. So it's who the college team, which one would be the best one? I immediately
I
jumped to team one
I
because
was gonna
of
say one. I'm not a big Chet. I know Chet was good, but he's whatever. I mean, you got Steph Curry, greatest shooter of all time. You
But this is
have,
just college, right? But
I know, but he
in
was still
college, he was a
balling.
stud.
Have you
Yes, he was
seen
an
the,
animal.
like, I was like, oh, I remember that one time he like just whooped Wisconsin, but then I looked that
You
up and it was
rewatched the
like
highlights?
he whooped everybody. It's just this skinny
Yeah.
guy in like a size 3XL
Oh, it's
jersey and
crazy.
pants, fucking working these dudes, and he's like 120 pounds.
I think team
Blake
three
Griffin
is
was a fucking beast. Kevin Durant, I mean, are you kidding me?
I
He's a
yeah. So
first
I
pick.
think
Carmelo, he
they won a
won.
championship.
Right.
Yeah,
So I
I
was like,
think
I think
team
you
three
gotta
is
go with them.
last, but I think there's an argument for team two.
Excuse me, sorry.
Kemba was like
Yeah,
untouchable. Okay, so like
he might be coming up in one of the games we're playing.
right, and then Anthony Davis again was unbelievably good.
He was first
Blocking,
overall, wasn't he?
yeah, won a championship. Jalen Brunson, unbelievable. And so that just makes me think like the guard play is crazy. And then you have Devin Booker as your shooter and Joel Embiid. I don't know, that just kind of helps. He doesn't have to be your main guy. Joel Embiid against Blake Griffin, like that's a big team coming at you too.
Yeah.
Down low with some smaller guards. Like that's a tough squad. Like I think they could like play a certain brand of basketball. The other thing I thought was like who would you put as a coach if you had to pick one college coach?
I mean,
One.
you got to go with one of the a big one. You go Coach K. You can go
Would would you go K?
Calipari. You could go Tom
I'm not,
Izzo.
fucking Calipari blows, first of all. That
I
guy's
think
so overrated.
I was just gonna say I'm learning that he's a lot more overrated than, like, he's had a
They
job
get
for a long
knocked
time, but
out.
it's like,
They've won like what, once, twice? And they're in it, but they're not the same with all the time. I like Izzo, but they haven't really gone far um
yeah,
in a while.
they haven't done
They
much
win like
lately.
the
They win
first
the first one,
round.
then they lose.
Yeah.
They
So
beat
I would do
Marquette and then they
K.
lose.
Yeah.
But yeah, I would say Coach K. He's probably the
But
best.
if you can't pick Coach K because he's retired, who are you going with? Because
Does that
like
have
the
to be like
North Carolina
as
guy's
of
gone.
late, or can they be like in
Yeah,
the
like
history?
right now.
Um,
Because like Boeheim's gone, Roy Williams is gone, Coach K is gone,
I
the
don't
old
know many
Villanova
other
coach is
coaches.
gone.
I mean, I still think Tom Izzo would be a good one.
You'd probably have to go with
Um,
Izzo, right? I think you
I don't
would.
think Shaka's that bad.
Shaka's got some bad luck. He had some like loss by
The
game winning
Yukon,
half
who's
court.
the Yukon guy? He's got to be in there.
Yeah, he's pretty good.
Yeah,
He's intense.
I don't know him, but I don't know his name, but I recognize him. So
Yeah.
that's about as good as I would get with that. Yeah,
I,
that's tough. Like
I just
all
thought it was an
time
interesting question.
college
Yeah.
players, and
Yeah. Okay. Two drafts. So I think we should do the second one first because this will go a lot faster. We don't really have to draft if you don't want to. We can just discuss. Want to discuss or we can
oh,
draft.
least
Let's
favorite
draft.
teams.
Yeah. You want to
Okay, yeah,
draft or just talk? We can
let's
just
just
talk.
talk. Yeah.
Who do you hate the most? Who do you like when you see you're like fuck them? Like who's the Chiefs, Patriots, Cowboys, Seahawks?
Niners.
Niners. Is that it? Yeah.
Like that we don't like to watch.
Yeah. Who's your least favorite when you're like, I don't care who's on the team, like whatever. I'm rooting against him. No matter what. I could have picked him and I'm rooting against him.
I don't like. I think Duke is the first one
Duke,
that comes to mind
right? Absolutely. Shout
because
out
they're
Chuck.
just
He's
a
a Duke
bunch
fan.
of. Yeah, that
Yeah.
that makes sense. Fucking Chuck. Duke is just a bunch of prissy, um, entitled daddy's
Dicks.
money. Yeah, douchers.
So for some reason I don't like Purdue.
No, we hate Purdue.
And it's not because
Purdue
I'm a
blows.
Badger fan or anything. It's just like I don't
No.
like the team.
So I think my hatred for Purdue is because of Scott. One of my friends,
Okay.
Scott, goes to Iowa or went to Indiana University, IU, and they just naturally hate Purdue. So I think my hatred for them is, kind of through him. But they're just, it's hard to explain. They're just like a bunch of losers.
Yeah,
Like they're not douchey.
they're goobers.
They're goober. Yeah, I think
Yeah.
Barstool said something like that.
They're gooby
Yeah,
fake.
they're just
And he's not good. They always have a
losers.
big white guy or a
Yeah,
big guy who's like overrated and they're like, you're gonna win the I'm like, no, you're
yeah.
not.
He's not. I mean, he's like player of the year and blah blah blah. He's got a lot of points and a lot of rebounds, but in the Big Ten, he gets every fucking call ever. You
He'll be
touch him, he'll
useless in
get
the NBA.
exactly.
Useless. I saw
He's
someone that said he's gonna be what did they say? He's gonna be the
he's
next.
gonna be a taller Tyler Hansbrough.
Well, they said somebody. I was like, oh fuck, that hurts. It's like the Celtics Cornet. Like he's just
Yeah.
absolutely useless
So
on
let
the
me
court.
ask you this question: do you think if you were 7'4", you would be just as good as him?
Yeah,
I
probably.
think so. Like
They said he's gonna be
that's
the
why I'm not
next
that impressive. I'm not that
next
impressed with him.
Boban Marjanovic. That's what they're comparing him to. An NBA executive said he's gonna be Boban.
Oh, the big,
Big
yeah,
seven
this
six.
that clunky dude. Because
Yeah, he
once
was
you
on
get
Dallas.
that tall, like your gigantism is kicking in.
NBA NBA is too athletic. You could
Right, he's way
watch him
too
in the pick and
slow.
roll. He sits in the paint. He can't come out because they go right by him and he can't
Yeah,
recover. When he has to guard Durant,
I wouldn't be surprised if he doesn't even get picked in the draft.
I don't
He'll
think he
probably
will.
go undrafted, and then he'll just play for like a G League team, and then someone will pick
He
him
should
up,
just
and then
go
he'll fall
play
off.
overseas.
Drew
Yeah.
Timmy, remember he was so good in college.
That's the
He
other team I don't
barely
like.
made
I'm
Gonzaga.
not a Zag fan. I don't know
Nah,
why they've never won.
I think it's
Timmy's
because
probably
of Drew Timmy and Chet
this.
Holmgren. 'Cause I think
Yeah,
both of those guys
fucking
are the losers.
Suggs. I fucking hated them all. I'm not a
Yeah.
fan. I
Kansas Jayhawks.
I'm not against Kansas.
No. Kentucky.
I don't like Kentucky.
Because they were like DeMarcus Cousins, who's a
John Wall.
John Wall. That drove me nuts. Um,
Booker's a dick.
yeah, Booker, what a fucking pussy.
Yeah, not a fan of him.
Yeah, I would say Kentucky, like Duke, Kentucky are my top two. And
So,
then
question though, I don't mind them, but it's a big school. North Carolina doesn't bother me, which people would be like,
no,
that's weird because you hate Duke, you hate Kentucky, like it's all the blue bloods, right? And I
but
don't,
North Carolina
they don't
to
bother
me
me.
is not as like in your face as the other ones are.
I agree.
I
I
don't
have
know
no
why.
issue. I have no issue with Villanova. I have no issue with
Yeah,
UConn, and they win a ton,
I
which is
like Nova
weird.
because Dante DiVincenzo.
Yeah. And that's like they've won a lot, so that's kind of odd. I have no issue with Houston because they've never won. Like,
I'm
and
not a big UCLA guy. I think
I was
they're UCLA and USC. I just don't like Los Angeles in
just gonna
general.
say that. Yep. And
But
I'm not
I
an
think those
Illinois
are
fan.
overrated.
Yeah.
Yeah, Illinois. A lot of
I just,
Adidas teams. I wonder if that's a
trend.
coincidence or not.
And I like Creighton too. Bring it on.
I love Creighton.
Right?
I almost went there for dental school. And their
Yeah.
uniforms
Pay
are sick.
Paige was just in Omaha. She said it was really cool.
It's
She
a cool
liked it.
town. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
but
do like Creighton. I'm obviously a Marquette fan. I'll root for the Badgers. That's a
I'm not a
hot take. I'm not a
yeah.
huge Badger fan.
I kind of
Everyone
like watching them.
loves the Badgers. Oh my
I'll root
God, go
for them.
Badgers. Yeah, I mean it's our
Yeah,
home
because it's Wisconsin. But yeah,
state team, but a lot of no offense to Sean Dibble, he probably won't be watching this anyways. He's got two kids, he's busy. Everyone that I know besides him that like goes to Madison or like in high school when they're applying to Madison, I just want to get into Madison.
they
It's
eat that
just
fucking.
yeah, it's like they think they're hot shit because they're going to Madison. Well, guess what? Anyone can go to Madison. It's not that hard to get in there.
My
People
favorite
go there to
thing.
party. I know a lot of people who are so into it, like flunked
Yeah.
out of school. It's just,
It's a cool school. I'm not gonna
yeah,
lie. And I
yes,
visited a ton. It was awesome. But my
yeah,
favorite thing was going there and their football team was like undefeated. And I was like, you know, you guys are gonna get railed in the championship.
yeah,
How could you say? I'm like, because you have a fucking. That was when Graham Mertz was there. I was like, because that douchebag
yeah,
right there is your quarterback. That
yeah.
fucking cuck. What a dick.
It's
No
so funny.
chance. Yeah,
When
I would just go off on him. They're like,
when
where do you go? I'm
Allie
like, oh.
when Allie got into Michigan State, I was pumped and Sean was like, it's a Big Ten, it's a rival. And he's like, "Oh, that sucks. I'm sorry." I'm like, "No, dude, they're better than Wisconsin." And he's like, "What?" I'm like, "Yeah, they've
They
won
are.
way more championships than Wisconsin. Like
When
as of
Wisconsin
late, they're a little bit better, but I mean, look at
Wisconsin's the definition of being relevant but never succeeding at doing
yeah. Oh
anything.
yeah, we won a couple Rose Bowls. Okay. When? How long ago?
84. Yeah,
Yeah.
wait, we've been in them, but we get killed every
Yeah.
year.
Because you play Oregon, you're like, fuck, these guys are
Yeah,
fast.
I know. They're like, God, they make them quick out here,
Yeah.
huh?
Yeah. I
We just
mean,
push people.
it's the only state school, but it's Wisconsin. I mean, all we're good for is develop like getting running backs and
Lineman.
offensive linemen,
Yeah.
occasional linebacker here and there, but that's about
And and I think shout out J Mart. They're the what's the AD, what's his face? Used to be the coach. He refuses to put a baseball team on there because he wants more attention to the football and basketball. Every other
yeah.
Big Ten has a baseball team. He just wants to be a cock and not put that on there. And I'm
The
like, why?
reason Marquette doesn't have a football team is because the
Yeah,
Badgers pay them not to.
yeah, dumb. Bring on the competition. You should want it. Like, come
Right.
on. More people, more. I don't know. It's
Yeah,
stupid.
you gotta beat the best to be the best. So let's go. Yeah, I just
Yeah.
think I mean I'll root for them if it's against anyone else that I don't really care about because it's a Wisconsin team, but that's about as far as I'll go. I never understood the people who are so intense about like go Badgers when they have zero affiliation with it besides they're just from Wisconsin. I get
Yeah.
it if
I
you
don't.
went there, your son goes there, it's in your family, a bunch of alums. Never understood that.
So the irony in this is, in our next draft, you're gonna notice a lot of Badger things, which is kind of funny.
Yeah, that is funny.
Um, I don't have a trivia. Do you have a trivia or you want to just roll into it?
Um, I think I can come up with the trivia here. Okay. So, my trivia for you to start this game is
What's the
can you
game?
we'll do that later. Can you name the three programs who have won the most NCAA championships in order? One, two, three. Can you name the top three? Just think about it. And then once you know the top three, I want you to guess like how many, or if you can give me like how many they've won.
UCLA.
Is
I would say one.
okay.
Is that right?
Then I don't know. Give me the three.
I want to say North Carolina.
Okay.
Kansas?
Okay. So you are one for three.
Oh, fuck.
So
It's
it's
UCLA
UCLA.
though.
UCLA is
I know
one.
that with John Wooden.
Yeah. Do you know how many they won?
A lot. Like a
Yeah.
lot.
Yeah. They won 10.
I was gonna say 16. I don't know why that stuck in my head, but
Second is Duke, who has
wow.
5.
Okay, so it's way, way different.
And then
North Carolina doesn't have five.
Kentucky has 4.
Wow.
Let me
So
make
if
sure that's right.
so if UConn wins,
Can you still see me
they're
if I change screens?
I can see you.
Okay.
So if UConn wins, they have four then, right? Because they have
So,
two back to back, and then Kemba and Napier. So that's
so
four.
it says UCLA coach John Wooden holds the record for men's NCAA championships with 10, followed by, oh, that's coach. Shit.
Coaches, coaches.
Yeah.
Oh, give me
Fuck.
it, give me
Okay.
it.
Sorry. Okay. Which schools have the most titles? Okay. So it's UCLA with 11. Kentucky has 8. North Carolina has 6.
Okay, so I got 2 out of 3. That's still
Okay.
better.
Sorry. I
What is
misread
what
that.
is what is Kansas at? Does it say?
Um,
Because I know they have a lot of wins, like
I don't
regular
know.
season wins, but
UConn
maybe they
women
don't.
have 11. That's pretty fucking good.
Well, yeah, they won like 500 games in a row.
Yeah.
Fucking
My phone is my camera, so it's like blocking part of my screen. So I didn't see which coach. I just says all I can see is has the most titles in March Madness history, and that it says
I think I could have
UCLA.
gotten the coaches better than the
You know who
um
Adolph Rupp is?
for he's the third coach.
Yeah, he's Kentucky's. I don't even know
Oh
who the fuck
no.
that is. Um,
Uh
yeah. So John Wooden's got 10. Mike, Coach K has 5, and then that dude has 4. But teams is
Krzyzewski.
UCLA, Kentucky, and North Carolina. UCLA hasn't won since like the 80s, though. Oh, 95. All right. So since I fucked up, I guess I'll give you the first pick. Talk about the game or the draft.
It's our favorite moments from March Madness, pretty much. So it can be a game, a player, or a shot. I mean, I'm not gonna choose a player, just but a shot, whatever. And it's not gonna be Christian Laettner catching a ball down the court and shoot. Like I didn't watch that, so I don't give a fuck. This is about
Oh,
current.
stuff that you've seen.
Yeah, I mean, it can be later, previous, obviously, but it's stuff that hits home for me. Hence why we were talking about the Badgers.
Okay.
And so which I also thought would be a little different, so we might not cross paths because you might not give a shit what I give a shit about.
Right.
Um, my first pick is pretty easy for me. The North Carolina Duke or North Carolina Villanova championship game.
That was gonna be mine, yeah.
Marcus Page like double clutches, shoots that three, and you're like, holy
Unreal.
fuck.
To take the
Un
lead. Holy
They were
shit.
down. He missed a layup, got it, put it in, and then they go down. Arch throws Archidiakono. He threw a blatant pass, or was it latent?
Yeah.
Blatant?
Mm.
Bad
Yeah.
pass. And
Yeah.
then Marcus Page hits that crazy three, and then watch Jenkins, and then he throws it. Oh, Villanova. Oh,
Yeah.
like the call is amazing. The
Jim Nance.
streamers,
Fuck yeah.
yeah, miss him. Really do miss him.
Me too.
The whole thing. I watched it with dad. Like crazy game. It was unbelievable to watch. It was so fun.
Hmm.
I literally look it up and I still get chills. So that would be my first moment where I was like, this is awesome.
That one's fun. Yeah. Um, that was gonna be my first pick, and I was gonna just kind of see where you were going with it. So that kind of fucks me up. I did like it's a good story, and I like the coach, so I'm gonna go with Villanova, or sorry, Virginia winning theirs the year
Tony Bennett.
after with
They
Tony
lost
Bennett.
to a
He's
sweet
a so
to a
they lost
16.
the first number 1 seed to lose to a 16, which is brutal.
I
That
had that on my
sucks to be
list.
the
One of my
first one.
favorites.
Damn, that sucks. And then the next year to return and then win. I think Kyle Guy hits a free throw with like half a second left or something. So it was a
Fucking hate
close
Kyle
game. It was
Guy.
pretty good. But yeah, that I think that's a cool story. So I'll go with that one. I like Tony Bennett too. He's a Wisconsin native.
So my next one, this is the Badger focus here, is a game they lost. I believe I want to say Sweet 16 to go to the Elite Eight or to go to the Sweet 16. It wasn't too far. Do you remember Zach Showalter's belt to Aaron
Oh
Rodgers?
yeah.
He gets
That's
that
so funny.
ball and like runs, but he needs a three and he double clutches and somehow puts it in and then
Hmm.
turns and does the belt to Aaron in the stands, which is like, holy fuck.
Yeah.
Somehow we're winning. We go into overtime, turn the ball over, and then their guy, I think his name was like Chioza or Chorizo or some shit like that. They're down two full court runs, and he does the same thing where he jumps from the free throw line, but or from the 3 point line, but shoots at like the free throw line, but it's a three, puts it in to win. It was
Yeah.
crazy, just a crazy game. It was fucking awesome to watch, though. The
Yeah.
Badgers were on the decline. We still had Nigel, good old Nigel, but it was it was awesome. I enjoyed that moment when he looked at him. It was
Yeah.
cool.
Wasn't there another? So I think it was like Miami or Florida. Like a guy was a similar year running like fast break and he
That's
like jumps after like in front of the free throw or the 3 point line.
that's the game.
Was that the same? I thought it was a different team though.
No, that's the game. That's Florida. We lost to Florida. That's the game.
I thought it was Miami. I thought it was
Nope,
Miami
it's
versus someone else. I don't
no,
know
it was
why I thought
Florida
that.
because it was nuts and it was in
Okay, so that's
Madison
the
Square
same game I'm
Garden.
thinking of. Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
so it
Yeah,
was
that was
crazy
crazy. Because
because they
like,
did
oh
like the
no, they
same
lost. But like,
shots.
yes, I'm so annoyed with all my friends that are saying
Yeah,
that.
so it was like such a
Yeah.
weird.
Okay. Yeah, that's a good one. I'd be remiss if I didn't have Jimmer on there. He just disappeared once he got drafted. He fucking
Against Gonzaga. Was it the Zags he
so
went
I
off
mean,
against?
yeah, Gonzaga, 34 points. Um,
Shooting Jimmer range. Remember that was a
yeah,
thing.
I mean,
Jimmer range.
the dude was was he yeah, it was before like Steph Curry was shooting half court or logo threes because they wouldn't call it Jimmer range if Steph was already doing that.
Right.
So, I mean, he was just this white guy from BYU. That's unreal. He reminds me, and he's like inspired other guys like this mega mind we got going on at Oakland right now. What's his name? Gelke or
Yeah,
whatever.
Galki, the threes. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean that's the same. You get that you get something like that every year, and it's kind of fun. So he is he's got to be on there. I think he was so much fun to watch, chucking shit up from so far away. Who's your two
He that
or
that
or
that
your
was a
three?
good
Sorry,
one. I just looked up Jimmer Fredette's real name is um James Taft Fredette.
James
Jimmer.
Taft.
Last time he played in the NBA was 2018-19 season. He averaged 3 points, one rebound, one assist for the Phoenix Suns.
Yeah,
So just interesting. He was the 10th pick in the 2011 draft, and he is just nowhere to be found. BYU,
he's
baby.
like Shanghai. He's playing
Yeah.
in like China at some point.
um, let's see. I don't think you'll have this on here, but I'll give a shout out to I thought Loyola's run
I was gonna
was
say Sister
crazy
Jean.
with Sister Jean. Brett was going there like their first he was there that first year. So it was crazy to like know someone at the
Yeah,
school and like the whole run that they were on and they were beating like unbelievably athletic teams with a bunch of white guys at like 6'6".
yeah.
Um the other one I'll throw out that I doubt you have on there
You're just gonna do a
was
shit ton of them now.
well, no, I just don't. We're only doing 3 rounds. I just don't think you're going to have this. Was when Sam Decker went off against Arizona. We struggled against them the year before, and then he went
Mhm.
off against them. Aaron was at that one too. I remember that was a crazy. He just kept hitting threes and threes and threes. Shout out Sam Decker and that team.
I was gonna
Uh,
say like Sam Decker, Frank the Tank. Frank the
so
Tank
that's
is like a journeyman in the NBA now. He's been on 12
yeah,
teams. And Sam Decker's highlight is him on a fast break tripping over his own foot and the ball hitting him in the face. So that's Wisconsin
absolutely.
basketball for you.
I'll go with Frank the Tank. I'll choose that as my third one. When they lost to Kentucky the year before and the Harrison twins, they hit that shot. And we had like a really good team with Bronson Koenig and all those guys. Shout out Bronson
Yeah.
Koenig when he hit that corner three against whatever to win that fadeaway.
Yeah.
Um, but when they got revenge against Kentucky in the Final Four, I thought that was the first time I was like, oh my God, I'm going to see a national championship from Madison. Like, that's
Hmm.
crazy. And then they lost to Duke, so that was really disappointing. But that run was awesome because Kentucky was undefeated. They didn't lose a single game all year.
Yeah,
So to beat them
that
is
was
like beating the
sweet.
Patriots.
Yeah.
That was even not being a Badger fan. I still have two Badger things on my
It's
list.
pretty recent, but I think the Jalen Suggs bank half quarter, like during COVID,
It's UCLA. Yeah.
that was sweet. I might have that on my third. I think Kemba was up there for me.
His run.
His yeah, but his step back, like that classic one, I don't think that was in the tournament. I think that was like a Big East championship
That
or
was in the
something.
Big East championship against Pitt. I watched that at
Yeah.
Coco's with mom. Yeah.
It's not a good moment, but it's tattooed in my brain. I don't know if you're gonna know what
Kevin
this is.
Ware.
Yes.
Yeah, I thought about this fucking thing. I didn't want to bring it up
So
because it's so bad, but
it's
when it
bad, but I will never forget where I was, what was going on.
it's just
I was warning to anyone listening right now.
look up Kevin Ware versus
This
Duke.
isn't a very shiny story. It's not very fun. So just skip ahead if you don't want to hear anything that's not fun.
Should we
Um,
bring up a picture?
I was we were I forgot what time what year it was, but we were all living at home. Like it was in like high school or something. And I am on the toilet going to the
Watching?
bathroom. No, I just had to use the
Oh.
restroom. And I hear Cole go, "Oh my God. Oh my God." And I'm like, "What?" Like, I'm like upstairs. And what? You have to come see this. I'm like, I'm busy. Oh God.
That's why.
I was
Look
like,
at that
you have
thing.
to come see this. And it was on like the elevated floor too. So like all it was right in front of his teammates' bench. So they're like at eye level with the fucking bone
Yeah,
that's poking out of his leg.
when you
And then of
saw the
course they wouldn't show it. Like they wouldn't show the replay. So
hmm
I had to like look it up online. I'm like, all right, come on, Twitter needs to update or something.
yeah, Twitter's the place to get all that shit. Like any
And
injury ever.
that was the first time I ever saw that injury. I was like, oh shit, this can happen.
Yeah,
I
you
didn't
didn't
realize
think
that.
about it.
I know like Joe, uh, is it Theismann? Theismann? Is he the one that
Heisman.
Theismann?
Yeah.
He's the one
Lawrence
that
Taylor.
Lawrence Taylor
Yeah.
crushed, and he had that injury, but you just don't see it because it's like all under, whatever.
It's like Alex
And
Smith. Yeah.
and then Alex Smith, yep, that's creepy coincidences too with those two injuries.
Yeah, it's
But
JJ Waddle.
Kevin Ware was the first one that I actually saw, and I was like, shit, this can happen. But then you see, I
Well,
feel
let's
like
hold
a
on.
lot after that happened. Like
Let's do
Paul
a quick.
George
I was just gonna say
did
quick
it.
back and forth. Andrew Bogut.
Andrew Bogut's, yeah.
Yeah, Paul George.
Paul George like landed into the, and people forget that happened.
In the
Fucking
USA, Team
Grayson or
USA. Yeah.
Grayson. Who's the white dude that was on the Celtics and he twisted his fucking foot?
Gordon, I was okay. You want a
Fucking
story? I'm
Gordon
watching
Hayward.
Celtics Cavs. We just get Gordon Hayward. We have Kyrie, Tatum, Brown, Gordon Hayward, Marcus Smart. We're winning the championship. First game of the season. That motherfucker jumps up for an alley oop to start the game. I'm in the library at CUW with it on my. I go, oh, what the hell? Everyone looks at me. I was like, you just see his foot
And
this
it's
way.
all, that's the
Yeah.
Dak Prescott too. Dak had that happen.
Dak did. Well,
It's
it's
like a
the hip drop
dislocated
thing, which they
slash
just banned.
broken
Yeah.
fucking
Old
ankle.
Nick Chubb twice. I mean, the Nick Chubb injury in Georgia,
Oh,
and then
those
the
have to
Nick
be the
Chubb, the Nick
worst.
Chubb this year when it just got
Those
rocked.
turns into
Yeah.
a flamingo. Those are the worst for me because I hyperextended my knee. Obviously not that bad, but holy shit, that makes me just oh. I love it because it
Yeah.
was Dwayne Wade on the Cavs playing the fucking Celtics. Like that even happened. That's crazy he was even on that team. But yeah, that Kevin Ware just fucking
That
trampolined all these other injuries that I didn't even know were possible. And all of a sudden you're just seeing all this shit now that with all the cameras and stuff as time went on because technology got better, more social media and everything. That's
I
crazy.
think I think that was probably the worst one though, because like the
Oh
when
man.
you
And
with
he
the
picks his leg
bones
up and it's like,
sticking out,
fuck.
yeah, and the when
Yeah.
the bench goes, oh God, like they all turned like can't even look.
They put the
That's
towel over it. They're like, yo, we gotta get this dude
yeah,
off of the court.
that's bad. Like
That was tough.
I
Did
mean,
they win the
there's
next year or something?
yeah, Louisville won two in a stretch there. That was pretty crazy.
Yeah, and that was like, this is for Kevin.
I mean, there's got to be some. I heard about a or I saw where a hockey player got his throat slit or
Yeah, that was a
whatever,
long time ago. This
right?
guy got a
There's some
skate
pretty
to the neck,
crazy. Yeah, there's some
and it
real
hit his.
crazy shit.
It didn't hit an artery. It hit a vein.
Yeah.
So it just like spurted out 10 feet. If it would have hit an artery, it would have went like fucking 30 feet into the stands. Because arteries pump blood away from the heart and it just it's under more pressure. So I think he survived too, which is
Well, dude,
wild. You're just sitting
the
there,
other
blood's
one.
pouring out on the ice.
What's the who is it? John Jones in UFC? Remember when he kicked that guy and his
Oh, and his
leg
leg just
wrapped
wraps around it.
around?
Oh, that's tough.
Or the guy that stepped back
Oh, that was Conor
on his
McGregor.
leg. Was it McGregor? Yeah, it was McGregor
McGregor
because his
kicked and then he like went to
he
go put
stepped
his
back
foot down and
and
went
it just
because
yeah,
he
because
did a
okay.
yeah, it's just tibia
I shouldn't
smack in
laugh,
half.
but that's the shit that I think of,
Fuck.
and I was like, damn, it's
I
tough though.
I'm not good with injuries like that. It's hard for me to watch. It makes me whenever I
Well,
see videos like when people jump off of like trampolines or onto trampolines, like go, I hate
hmm
that. It just makes me
Paige can't
cringe.
handle it, which is unbelievable because in the profession she works in, and then
Yeah, you're gonna see
mom,
a lot of that page
I
as a
show
rad
mom, I
tech.
know, right? I'm like, you see broken bones every day. She's like, not with it, no, not like that. I was like, did you see that? She's like, what happened? I don't know. But I show mom, mom's like, oh. I'm like, this bone's sticking out, mom. She's like, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm like,
And
what?
some people find it funny. I know
I
we're
know.
laughing about it, but like some people are like, oh no way. I'm like, oh, that
I,
makes me fucking
well, I remember Bogut's in the moment. I was like,
oh.
oh God, like,
Talk
don't
about
reach.
like
Yeah.
one of like I was a struggling Bucks fan. Like, oh, we're finally like getting decent. We're gonna make the playoffs. Holy shit. Brandon Jennings is like this diamond in the rough we found out of nowhere. Andrew
Fear the
Bogut is like
deer.
an all-star. So good. Then fucking Amari Stoudemire pushes this dude midair and he uses one arm to break
Yeah,
his
what is it?
fall. And he's like 300 pounds. And that thing snaps in half. He
Oh
like
God.
dislocated it, broke it, did everything. I'm like, quick Googling, like, how long does it take to heal a
Halo.
dislocated,
Yeah.
broken elbow? And it was like fucking 6 months. God damn it.
Yeah,
There
that's
goes our
bad.
run. Not that we would have done anything, but Bucks and six was born that
Great.
year because we were down 4-0 or 3-0 to the Miami Heat with LeBron. That
It's just
sucked.
the gruesome sports injuries. They make you
It's
laugh
part of the
now, but
game,
it's
man.
crazy when you think
Yeah.
about it.
That was just a little like side thing because it wasn't the best moment, but I will never forget that. I'm on the toilet and you're like, let's come see this.
Well, I get queasy just at the gym when I'm doing like a leg press because we've all seen those
Oh,
videos where they just drop.
he turns into a flamingo.
Yeah.
You lock your knees and then it fucking folds back under. Oh
Uh-huh.
man.
Or remember Bijan got totally scorpioned in college and he just got up. Like some of
Yeah.
those guys, I'm like, how do
They're
you're
made out
like
of rubber.
your head hit your asshole and you're like, yeah, I'm fine. Like that's crazy.
Oh, Jesus.
Okay, that's it for the draft. We're all good.
Yeah.
I think so. Okay. Um, and then last but not least, we're just gonna preview who we're rooting for. We only got 8 games. Do you care about Clemson or Arizona? Who you want outside of
At
your
this
own
point,
bracket?
I'm just rooting for my bracket and Marquette, obviously, but
I would like to see Arizona, North Carolina get to do the that
Mhm.
Caleb Love game. So I think that'd be kind of
I picked
cool.
that for my bracket, but I also think it would be a cool story. So yeah, doubly,
Correct.
yeah.
I did pick Illinois to get to against UConn, but I think we also do have a championship rematch of San Diego State UConn. That was last year's championship.
Yeah, that'd be a
But
good one.
I think Iowa State beating Illinois
Illinois.
to face UConn would be good because Iowa State looks pretty tough.
Yeah, I'd like that better than Illinois. I don't think Illinois got enough.
My two games of the weekend though are on Friday. Absolutely. Let's go NC State all fucking
Fuck
day.
no.
Big fella's going off,
You're
right?
gonna root
Just
against my Golden Eagles?
yeah, because I get so many points, and like if Marquette wins, it's like okay, then I'll just root for Marquette. That's fine. But
Yeah, you
go
fucker.
go NC State, and then I think Creighton, Tennessee is just going to be a Canuck
That's
and
gonna be a
white
good
people
game.
central, right? Like I think that's
Yeah.
just going to be basketball, man. Just
Yeah, that's gonna be a good
like
game.
I think that's going to be awesome, and I
Canuck
could
is a
see.
fucking beast too.
He struggled the game before that, but their team is just athletic, and
Hmm.
then Creighton just knows how to play basketball. So I think
Yeah.
that's just going to be an interest. I have Tennessee going far too, and then I think Friday's games are better honestly because I think Gonzaga could take Purdue. I really
Yeah.
do.
I
They
was
look
impressed. They got
athletic.
two those excuse me, those two big white guys are
Yeah.
good. They're a
Yes.
lot more mobile, a lot more athletic than Zach Edey, and that's not saying much, but it's yeah, they can
No, that's.
ball.
I think they could do it. And then I hate to say this, but I didn't realize. I think Duke can take Houston. Duke has the offensive firepower that I didn't realize
Yeah.
they had to shoot and everything. And Houston just looks kind of.
Lackluster.
Yeah, they just
Gotta
have.
close the fucking game out when you're up 11 with
Yeah,
a minute
and they.
left. Come
I
on.
I know you have good
They were
defense.
fouling them already in with like a minute left.
Yeah, you gotta play good defense. I understand, but the like UConn plays good defense, but they kick your ass on offense. Like the sets they run and their guys are insane. Like they're very, very good. And the guy, it's Shed. Jamal Shed on Houston is a stud, the point
Yeah.
guard.
Yep.
But
That sounds right.
I think Duke could win. It would be chaos if you have Duke and Marquette though. That would be an ultimate game if you could get that.
Yeah.
But okay, that's it. And then we get
Yeah.
the
Go Golden Eagles, man.
Elite Eight this also, and then we'll be on to the Final Four.
Hell yeah.
Anything else you want to talk about? Or are we done? We're done, Zone?
Yeah, I think we can wait for NBA. That's starting to heat up a little bit.
I just put that
Um,
in there if we want to talk. If we don't have enough time, but we went through enough. I think it was long enough. So
yeah, I think the fans will be happy with that.
yeah, shout out Max Van Boxtel. He texted me today and said, "Hey, so you started a podcast, huh?" I
Is that
said,
who
"Yep."
just followed us?
Did he?
I don't know. I'm
I
like, do
don't
I
know.
know this guy? Just some
He's like, "Are
random
you
white
gonna be?"
dude.
He's like, "Are you gonna be?" I guess you're the next Skip and Shannon. I was like, "Well, Mason skipped, and yeah, we can deal."
Fuck that. There's no way. You're as
Yeah.
white as Shannon, but
His suits. He's
yeah,
like,
like you make that much
wait,
money. Why do you wear a suit
they're
that's painted
so.
on?
I know they're
It's
too
so
tailored.
tight.
It's
It's too
too
tight.
tailored.
You sit there and it's just like stretching every fiber.
Well, there's a difference
Like we
between
get it, you're
Carmelo
fucking
Anthony
ripped.
baggy suit
Yeah.
and
That's a good
then
commercial though.
that is a good
Early
one.
2000s.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's funny.
but all right.
No, that's fun. I love March Madness, man. It's good shit.
Yeah, cool.
All right, we'll be back next week to discuss
Elite Eight,
who's
Marquette
in the final
losing.
four.
Yeah,
Come on, baby. Let's go.
they're
That'd be
gonna
huge.
choke.
Fuck yeah.
Hey,
All
see
right.
ya. Bye. Love
Bye,
ya.
bitch.